Welcome to another Clubhouse Hangout. We are joined in our store today by American Trappist. You can get into your first song. Once again, American Trappist, thank you for being here at the Clubhouse of Toms River. The Clubhouse of Toms River is, of course, a local music venue and marketplace for creators of all kind. How you doing today?
Good, how are you? Good. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, seriously, this has been something that we really wanted to happen for a while. Jimmy and I have been following American Trappist for a bit, and it was amazing that you played last night, and it's amazing that we're getting to do one of these sessions right now.
Happy to be here.
You can get into your next song. And it's really awesome to see your songs pick up like that. Like they always start really kind of slow and quiet, but then they build to this really awesome moment. And seeing that live yesterday was a really cool experience.
We were kind of laughing yesterday because that was like the fastest we ever got at the end of that song. Oh, yeah. It was like ridiculous. And Louis was just like cracking up afterward.
Yeah. I laughed so hard I thought like I pulled a muscle in my ribs. It was just
it was pretty fast.
So I know a few of you have Jersey Shore roots. Where's everyone originally from here? I know.
These two guys, actually.
Yeah.
I'm from Belmar.
All right, solid.
Toms River.
Toms River. There we go. So obviously a lot of people in the scene here know you, Joe, or at least are aware of your previous project, River City. I know a lot of people I had friends in all the high schools here that were super into you. You were still together at the time. Even my college roommates got super into the last record. And so you have been in this scene that I have been a part of for about 10 years now, but you got to experience it a good couple years before I did. What can you tell me about those those days when you were in high school playing music in Toms River? What was the scene like?
Well, it's funny. I was thinking about it before we came down for this show because I feel like everyone that I was playing music with at that time doesn't really live here anymore. Not everyone. Some people do, and some folks from River City still live here. But a lot of the bands that we were playing with at the time don't exist anymore. Bands come and go. But we played with Brick and Mortar a lot. When
They're another
coming up.
local success story.
Yeah, and they're in Asbury now, I think.
Yeah, they live above Cardinal.
Yeah.
Or one of them does.
Yeah. Even Front Bottoms. I mean, they're not from around here, actually, in New
Did
Jersey.
you come up with them though?
We did. Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah. We were buds and kind of found each other's music and just kind of, locked arms and did the best we could to get as far as we could.
That's great.
Together.
And with the whole time that River City was a band, were you always out of New Jersey, or did you? Okay, because there was always that song that came up that I want to say I did some research and I couldn't find proof of this, but I want to say I discovered River City originally from a Warped Tour compilation. Is that possible or true?
Yeah, no, it's true.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
It was it Our New Intelligence was on. So there's that line about Baltimore, and I was like, did they leave? Because I didn't really know who you were. I had a bunch of friends who, when I was like, this band River City, they're out of Toms River, and someone's like, yeah, we're aware. Everybody knows them.
That's funny.
But yeah, I remember that Warped Tour compilation, and I still even think it's kind of interesting that you ended up on a compilation with a bunch of punk and metalcore bands.
Yeah, that was weird. We kind of I'm really not sure how that happened. We ended up sort of touring with a lot of punk bands and playing with a lot of punk bands. Our agent at the time, when we got to that stage, booked a lot of punk bands. And so I think that was part of the exposure. I also think that if we had tried to play in what was about to be the Mumford and Sons world. It was about to be that empire, which we really were not exposed to entirely. I mean, we toured with Langhorne Slim and Blind Pilot and people like that, but for the most part, the attention that was focused on the band was from that punk world, and I think that worked in our favor, because I think that we were the band in that world that those people were exposed to, that were playing acoustic instruments and interested in chamber pop and interested in that type of arrangement, where if we had gone the other way, it would have, we would have been one of 100 bands that were,
That's so interesting, because I will quote River City Extension and then another local band that was a couple years younger than you called
Foxes and
Lions.
Yeah.
Those two groups, while aren't in that scene, I think were important to me getting into folk punk, which was something super important to me in college.
Yeah, it's funny. We didn't know what was going to happen with folk rock music and all that stuff, but we were definitely playing house shows and stuff that were a part of that folk punk scene, and we're coming from somewhere in between the Moldy Peaches and Mischief Brew, where you had a lot of thought put into songwriting, but once you got on stage, at least in the Mischief Brew world, it was about trying to bleed on your guitar as much as possible, and we fit into that scene well, and I'm very grateful for that. And I think that scene is distinctly different from what would become Phillips.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that was a long tangent, so let's get into your next song.
Yeah, cool.
All decomposed.
So it feels like whenever I look up American Trappist on Spotify, I always see some sort of new release. You seem to work quite a bit in the studio.
Yeah, it's my daytime job, is recording bands, and so we try to record as much as possible because we have the ability to do it. Just kind of using that resource to work on new material, or we do a lot of re-recording of our own songs.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, about once every record we put
Yeah.
out an accompanying EP where we add a couple songs and re-record.
Oh, wait, is
a
that
couple
the
songs.
there's the 2 volumes on Spotify? Okay,
Yeah.
I thought some of those songs, I noticed that were re-recordings, and I was confused by that.
Yeah.
It's a way to trick people into thinking that you're prolific.
Buying
Just
the
to
same song
re-record your own
twice.
songs. Yeah.
But buying, no one buys music anymore.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. That's how you do it.
So, is it true you're getting back into the studio, or at least obviously you work in one, so you're always in it? But you're
Yeah.
planning a 3rd LP?
We
yeah.
are.
What's that?
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, we're getting back in to do a full length. Yeah.
That's sweet. The last LP was a really cool progression from the original self-titled. I
Thank
really
you.
dug, at least in the way I saw it, was a lot of Springsteen influences. I'm not sure if that's...
Thanks. Yeah.
What you were
Yeah, I
aiming
was
for.
getting into Springsteen as an adult.
Yeah, same thing happened
for sure.
with me
You
not
know.
too long ago.
Yeah. We recorded the first record ourselves and did not record the second record ourselves. So that was a big difference. For one, just being in someone else's studio and working with them and communicating with them about their vision of the record, and it was a really good experience, and it was fun to be in like a multi-million-dollar studio, like the real deal, and big microphones and stuff like that. But we're going back to doing it ourselves, not for any particular reason other than we have the resources and feel like we've learned enough at this point that we'd like to make another one ourselves.
It's also cheaper.
It's cheaper. Yeah,
a lot
it is
cheaper.
cheaper. Yeah. But also feels like the right move right now.
Yeah.
Is there going to be any drastic sound changes that you could tell us about, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, we were playing, that last song was a new song. This next song that we're going to play is a new song. I don't think it's not going to be a drastic change in my head.
I feel like it might kind of be, though, because like the difference between then and now is like guitar, keyboard, bass, drums, and like 2 guitars, and I feel like we've kind of
Yeah.
like leaned into that. Like,
Yeah.
guitar rock
And maybe
a little
Max can
more.
speak to that a little bit, because the first 2 records came out before you joined the band, or as you were joining the band. Do you think that this record sounds significantly different to you?
Yeah, I think it's a different mood in general. I mean, I think the guitar stuff is definitely different than a lot of the stuff in the last record, but for me, a lot of it is the mood, and like the emotional place where all the songs seem to take place. That feels like a
Yeah.
really a different chapter.
I think it's a lot darker than the last record.
Yeah.
I mean, we haven't made it yet, but I think
It's darker.
it's darker. It's gonna be darker. Yeah.
It's a little,
It's moodier.
It's definitely moodier, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. So just one last small question, and I do my best to do some sort of research before I go into these, but I'm always really bad at it. And the one thing that really caught my eye on your Facebook is that your location is Satan's Kingdom, and that's also my favorite track off the self-titled LP. What's Satan's Kingdom?
It's a park in Connecticut.
Really?
Yeah.
It's a national park, isn't it?
Are you serious?
I think it's a state.
Or it's a state-
park.
that's what I meant, yeah, state park.
Yeah,
There's
it's
like a
not,
government-
It's not a national park.
But isn't
Yeah,
that the
yeah. It's an
EP?
actual.
Satan's Kingdom National Park.
Yeah. We took a little creative liberty, but yeah, it's a real place.
So there's a government-funded place called Satan's Kingdom.
Yeah. I've never been. I should take like
I wonder,
a pilgrimage there.
I wonder what
and-
the origin of that name is. We should probably look that up.
Yeah.
Do a little research, you know.
Yeah.
I
for
should have just
sure.
Googled it.
Yeah.
Past. Oh, there's a song I like on the record, and it says it. That's where they're located.
Yeah. Sometimes it feels like the world is Satan's kingdom, man.
I wasn't sure. I was a little afraid you were going to be like, yeah, Satan's Kingdom is Toms River because that place sucks.
No.
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 All right.
Being from New Jersey, I feel like there's always a little bit of like, everyone rips on it so hard that if you're not into the ways that it sucks, then like maybe you're not living in the state you think you're living in.
I feel like me and Jimmy just fully embrace that it does suck, and we're gonna fight everyone who claims that it does. Like we're okay with it. We love it here.
Yeah.
And yeah. Okay, so this is your last song, right?
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us in our store.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks.
Please check out the Clubhouse of TR on Instagram, Clubhouse of Toms River on Facebook, and check out shows if you're in the area. You can get into your last song.
Let me go.
sick. All right, that's it. Yo, that was so cool. That was so fucking cool.